What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
What are you, some kind of freak?
RadioWhat.com.
What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan from RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, I encourage you to go to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability, get your free price quote. Currently, the date is Thursday, May 16th, 2019. And tonight, if you're listening to this right away, as I'm putting this up in the afternoon of the same date, I have the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam theme Thursday at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. I encourage you to come out. They got a full bar, free pool on the pool tables, and the kitchen is open. Jersey Girl Pizza. Theme Thursdays at the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. The theme tonight's going to be the music of 2000 to 2009. Now, you don't necessarily have to sing the music from 2000 to 2009, but it doesn't wait. No, not even a little bit. You could sing pretty much whatever you want, but the background music will probably be of all that time period. And tomorrow night, that is Friday, May 17th, I'll be once again at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas. Come on out. Video Dance Party, Karaoke Jam. Pool tables will be occupied by a pool tournament. So get out, become a part of the pool tournament, make some money on a Friday night. You can talk to the fine folks over there. Full bar, and the kitchen is open. And from what I understand, they're still doing it about 11 o'clock in the PM. They start their breakfast. So you can have some breakfast at the Rab until about 1 in the AM. Yeah, having some breakfast at a bar. Yeah, let's do it. At the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, Friday night. And then Saturday, I got a wedding at Rim Shoals Resort. I have a wedding, and I'm so excited about that. Weddings are the best. We're right in wedding season. Yeah, looking forward to it. Getting all the way up to Rim Shoals. That's like almost Missouri. Up there in the top of Arkansas. Dig it. All right, party people. Today on the program, oh yeah, it's Greg McCuin of the McCuin Band. Looking forward to speaking to Greg. So excited. Now, when I asked him to be on the podcast, and it's been some time coming, we finally got our schedules together. I know he lives like somewhere around Hot Springs, pretty far south, and I live in Conway, Arkansas. So I figured, we'll meet in the middle. I'm portable. We can do our thing anywhere, pretty much. And he said, why don't you come meet me at the Little Rock National Airport? That's Bill and Hillary Clinton's airport. And I said, okay. Being a traveling musician, he's probably pretty comfortable hanging out in the airport. So I'm game. Let's go to the airport. Let's go meet up with Greg McCuin right about now. Comfortable at airports.
Second home.
Apparently so.
Second home. Yeah, it's the Zoom Pro, H4n Pro. And it's like a studio in a box. You can plug in your, it's got a preamp in it. So it makes it sound like I'm in a studio. Really nice, yeah. I'm very happy with this machine. I did some off my phone, and that sounds okay, but this, you could plug in instruments, a microphone, and maybe a guitar, And musicians use this stuff all the time, and I figured it was good enough for them, it was good enough for me. Yeah. So I just plug in my little lavaliers and away we go, Greg McCuin. Am I pronouncing that properly?
Yes.
All right, so we're hanging out at Little Rock Airport doing our thing. When I asked Greg McCuin to do this podcast, I let him choose the place, and he said, wow, he'd come all the way to Conway, and I said, man, let's meet halfway in the middle, because I don't even know exactly where you live, but you got to be living like further south than here, like Hot Springs, maybe?
Like 30 miles southwest of Hot Springs.
Southwest of Hot Springs, so even further.
Like the crotch of Arkansas.
Yeah. So you make your way to the Little Rock Airport a lot? You're a touring musician?
We're everywhere.
Everywhere. I like
everywhere.
Omnipresence. Yeah. I like that in a musician.
Yeah, we're just everywhere.
I really do.
Yeah, just everywhere. I mean, I have to ask somebody I usually have somebody with me, and I have to ask them, where are we at? Where am I at? What's today?
You ever get that, hello, where am I?
Yeah. You don't want to say the wrong city.
No, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I was in Marion, and I kept saying West Memphis. Yeah. Oh, they weren't happy.
Golly, Marion's that's way north of
it was right next door. It was the next, it's the next,
Is it? Okay, yeah.
the next exit. And I was at the Marion prom saying, hey, Marion, we're hanging out here in Marion, West Memphis. And they were, no, not West Memphis. So I'll never be invited to that prom again, I guess. Then I won't make that mistake again. So
well, two birds with one stone.
It happens. Yeah. It happens, man. When you go around enough, it happens.
Yeah, we're just, and that's just it. I mean, we're on the go again. It's this record's coming, and this other the shows are already coming in. There's already like 20 something dates set, and there's another 20 or 30 coming. I just,
So you got a record coming out?
Yeah, the record is we're within probably 60 days.
Well, we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah.
Let's go with the beginnings of Greg McCuin. Where were you born, man?
Searcy, Arkansas.
Yeah.
In 1975, December 31st, 1975.
Still a whippersnapper.
Yeah.
Youngin'.
Dad said he told Mom in the delivery room, he said, if you don't get him here before New Year's, you're going to have to hang on to him for a while, because he wanted to claim in taxes.
Right.
Taxes. Yeah. Business. Dad was always thinking business.
So Dad, what did he do? Businessman?
He was a minister. He preached as far as I can remember.
Preacher.
Just
son of a
ministry.
preacher man.
Just that's it.
I've heard that song before.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And the wife listened to that, and April goes, there's some truth in that one.
Truth?
Yeah. But she, and then I grew up traveling, and we moved every 2 or 3 years, because Dad would, we'd have to move every 2 or 3 years, and Dad would take another church or something. I always say I was born in the South, but I've been cultured since, but we, Mom and Dad spent a lot of time out on the West Coast. Dad used to work, when he was young, he used to work in the vineyards.
Okay, so when he was young, tell me about the beginnings of Dad.
He was a musician through and through. He played rock music. He had a rock band, and then he got into.
But that's the devil's music, sir.
Well, apparently it was, and then God got a hold of him, I guess, according to his family. Or his, parents, and he got his life together, or whatever. All that whole idea of what defines if you have your life together or not.
Right.
That will change depending on what day of the week it is.
So he's a minister before you were born.
He was a minister before I was even born. He had 52. When he died, it was 52 years. He had been preaching 52 years when he died.
Wow.
And him and my mom had been married like 53 years or something like that.
So what did Mama do?
Mom was just a homemaker, and she.
I don't like that word. Just. I've been having a problem with it over the last month or so.
That would how she would describe herself.
She is a homemaker. So she is a housewife. She is a mother.
Well, of course, she might not always. She might want to use the just a homemaker depending on how I turned out.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
All right, so it's a qualifier.
Yeah, maybe it's a. Well, that was my son when he lived at home. No, my parents. My parents they loved me and supported me no
Sure.
matter what they did, no matter what I was. If I was on their, if I was on their good list or bad list, or if Santa brought me toys or not.
Okay.
But,
Were you more on the naughty or more on the nice?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's a very evasive answer, but
Yes.
okay, I'll take it.
I just wanted to embrace freedom. Mm-hmm. Wanted to be free.
Sure.
And if they were teaching me all my life that Jesus is the way to freedom,
Sure.
well, if I accept him, how can you continue to put me in captivity if I'm not? Then everything you're teaching me is either not real or it's been misinterpreted.
Well, from what I understand, Jesus did a lot of walking too, man.
Sure.
Yeah.
He did. So
He didn't stay in one place.
no, I mean, and I don't. I couldn't stand to stay. The only time I like to stay in one place is when I'm sitting down with my wife and kids in my recliner watching a movie.
Nice.
And that's the time. That's our time, And nothing can touch me there. That's like my sanctuary. That's my favorite place to be. I love being on stage. I love the music. I love all, but I love being in that living room with my kids watching, even if it's a movie they've picked. Even if it's,
I see you brought an entourage. Introduce the two smiling faces I got here.
Steph, she's here with me. She is one of my assistants. She's been with me probably the longest of anybody that helps me out and wipes my butt and that kind of stuff,
All right.
Or
That'll come in handy later in life
tells
too.
me
Yeah.
it's time to get up or make sure I eat. Keeps me eating. Keeps me
Perfect.
dressed and whatever. And Brooklyn, that's my daughter. That's my princess. She's 14 going on 25, and
I got one of those.
yeah, she's a dance superstar. She's the next generation.
And usually in the same position, on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. If she's not in that position right there looking, or what, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
Do you need something to eat?
Parents, that's how you. That's fathers. That's how you know something's wrong with your daughter. If they're not on their phone, something's wrong.
Oh, I miss going outside and riding bikes. I do.
Oh, I miss. I'm always trying to get them to go. They went outside right after we moved in. We just moved into a newer house.
Okay.
And we were like, let's go outside and hang out, and relax.
Yeah.
So her and her mama, they go outside. Me and my littlest one, Clark, he's 8. We're throwing the football back and forth a little bit, just trying to enjoy the outside. And I look over, they're on the porch swing on their phones.
Okay.
Outside.
At least they're outside.
At least they're outside.
Hey, they're getting some fresh air.
So we got it started. But I don't know. Family's always been rooted deep, and it started with Dad, started with Mom.
Sure.
Started with the music thing, and Dad.
Well, we can go
played-
back a little further.
Yeah.
We can go back to grade school and find out where the beginnings of Greg McCuin were.
It had to be
Cersei,
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
had to be kindergarten. I was 6 years old.
And what was your first taste?
There was a music teacher, and I can't even remember her name.
Right. That happens.
There was a music teacher, and she, instead of teaching us the shakers and the spoons and
the kid instruments
the triangle
that you see on Jimmy Fallon now.
Right. That they're all popular now.
Yeah.
She brought a beautiful acoustic guitar in.
Come
And
on.
she started playing kind of a classical type.
Yeah.
And I was just in awe. I was like, I could sit here and there's nothing else going on in life. I could sit here and listen to that right now, just for the rest of my life.
For sure.
And it was
For
beautiful. So that's where, and I come home, and it didn't really register. I come home, I told Dad, I said, I want a guitar. And then
Right.
Dad goes in the closet and brings out 2 or 3 guitars.
He had some.
I didn't even know he had some.
I have 3 guitars. I have
laying
no
around.
idea how to play.
Yeah, well, it's,
I have an acoustic Esteban. My grandma bought it for me. I don't know how to play it.
Well, April, the wife's always telling me, she's like, you could go sell 2 or 12 of those guitars.
Sure.
And have money to go do something else or buy some. But each one of them has a sentimental attachment.
Right.
A couple of them belong to Dad, and a couple of them belong to, my grandfather it was one of his. And
This is pretty insightful. Did Dad played, you said?
he played guitar, played piano, played drums, played everything I play.
And was he playing when you were first born? Or was he ministering and
he
playing?
was No, by the time I was born,
Mm-hmm.
now when my brother was born, my brot's 14 years older than me.
Okay.
So I was either an accident or an affair.
All right.
See, if they were alive right now, they'd be killing me.
I believe it.
But the thing is, Daddy had a kind of a rock and roll kind of band going, Johnny Cash type stuff. And then him and Mom got married. Mama said, no. You're going to have to straight and narrow it, because that was the devil's music. And
obviously.
He played, then he locked into playing Southern gospel with some blues and all. So I grew up listening to, of course, Daddy at late at night. I can still remember, even at my youngest age, I can remember Daddy staying up late at night. I can still hear him playing just some Johnny Cash.
Playing something a little
bluesy and a little.
Where he's not supposed to be playing that.
Right. It was like really
according
taboo.
to Mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but little things like that really stood out. And I thought, why is he like? And the reason why I brought up the vineyard thing, earlier, is because he was so worried that somebody would find out that when he was younger he worked in the vineyards, because in religion, wine is, your drinking's bad and that.
Jesus
kind of
drank.
stuff. Sure he did.
Come on, man.
I believe he even got a little bit intoxicated.
Yeah.
So I believe it.
He said, "Set that party off, man. Let me turn that water to wine."
Exactly.
Okay.
And they were already drunk when he turned the water into wine.
Right.
Because the king said,
because they drank all their wine already.
Yeah. So it's just that kind of stuff. People don't think past.
Well, they interpret the way they want to.
Pretty much.
I'm in Faulkner County, which is a dry county, and every year it seems like the ballot is always on. Hey, let's make this a wet county. Let's go ahead and let them drink. Since there's so many bars anyway, every Mexican restaurant, every restaurant has a liquor license, and since we're in a notch in the Bible Belt, no, they always vote no. Weird.
I've never understood that thinking, which I guess. To each their own.
Right.
Freedom is, I want my freedom.
Right.
So I want them to have their freedom. But I want to be left alone with my freedom too.
Right.
But
that's a very libertarian attitude.
I just don't want to, I'm not, just because, Jesus said, come as you are. He didn't say, get your stuff together and then come on.
Right.
So there's a difference between acceptance and approval. I don't have to approve of anything anybody does, but I do have to accept that person.
Correct.
Because he taught, come as you are. So that's where a lot of people, I think, in the religious sense, miss it.
Sure.
And they're like, well, we don't want certain types of people, or we don't want, they'll preach all day against homosexuality or drunkards or all this, but gluttony, no, never heard of that one.
Right.
Or come down on somebody for smoking or doing this, but then they're digging their grave with a fork. Nobody wants to talk about this kind of stuff. It's issues of but the ultimate thing is that individual has the freedom to smoke themselves to death.
Correct.
That individual has the freedom to drink themselves to death.
Correct.
And we are required to love them. It says, oh no man nothing but to love them.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I gotta like them or
Sure.
like what they do.
Sure.
But I do have to love them to let them have their freedom.
That's kind of a Roy Rogers attitude.
There you go. There you go. So that's, and when we meet people, or all through life, I've got to experience people, different kinds of people. When my first real taste of the world was a culture shock.
Okay.
It was like, I remember one time, the first time.
Well, being from Searcy's kind of small.
It was,
and it was pretty tight knit, same kind of people.
And
everybody you meet's pretty much the same.
We were actually back and forth from Searcy to Rosebud.
Yeah, even more so.
Even more isolated.
Nah, I did a party in Rosebud, and all 200 people were there.
Right.
And they said, "Hey, this is the best party we ever had." Well, everybody was here.
The only party you ever had.
And they all knew each other.
Yeah. Well, see, and but it's that kind of thing. I was so, and my parents were so worried about losing me.
Sure.
That they didn't realize that what was required of keeping me was, if I'm going to fail or if I'm going to fall, it's better to let me fall when they can catch me or pick me up.
Yeah.
I'd rather my kids make their biggest mistakes when they're at home.
So when you say you were breaking out, you were trying to break out of this small town.
I was.
You were just trying to get out and see the world. Okay.
And trying to.
So growing up in Searcy, pretty popular kid?
Yeah, pretty much. We were there 3 or 4 years, and we moved on. You know, we moved to a different. Dad would take like a different church.
Okay.
And we'd move to a different city and sometimes a different state. And I mean,
so you didn't stay in Searcy the whole time?
Searcy. No, I mean, we were there. I think, as a matter of fact, toward the end of first grade, we moved. We packed up and moved to Russellville because my mother's dad was terminally ill.
Oh.
And back then, your parents didn't go to jail if you didn't go to school, you know?
Sure.
So they just pulled me out of school. I missed the last 3 months of school. Well, they didn't advance me to the first grade or the second grade, so I was held back in the first grade.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so here I am. And I already, because my birthday was late, I already started kindergarten at 6 years old. Going on 7, so here I am like 8, 9 years old going into the first and second grade. You know? Yeah,
that could work two ways. You can be the big kid in class.
Right, but for me it was kind of like, now I feel even more of an oddball or an outsider or I'm not fitting in, or is this how my whole life's going to be? And then 5th grade, it happened again. In 5th grade, we moved from Arkansas to Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And I was in a private Christian school up around Springdale.
And this is all for your dad's ministry.
It's all for my dad's ministry.
Kind of like a military kid. You're a ministry kid.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so we ended up moving from Springdale to Eufaula, Alabama.
Eufaula, Alabama.
And,
that sounds tiny.
It's kind of tiny. They're known for the bass capital of the world, kind of. You know.
Bass capital?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep the B on there. And but they it was a beautiful place. But then they said that Arkansas's scholastic standards were not up to Alabama's, and I had straight A's and all that, and they wouldn't pass me on.
Wait, so Alabama is better than Arkansas scholastically?
That's what they
said. I guess at the time, maybe?
At the time, maybe. I don't know. And so they held me back again. So here I am, you know, by the time I meet my wife, I'm in the 10th grade and 18 years old. Yeah, you're a giant. And so, so I dropped out, got my GED, and started life, got married. And that seems like the way to do it. You know, and I've been successful, and you know, we've been. So were you playing instruments in school? Yeah. Oh yeah. And you were part of the band maybe in school? I played played the snare a little bit. Snare, okay. He made the snare hand gesture too. Yeah. He has to work it. Yeah, I tried to make it look cool, you know, at the same time, but I didn't. I tried playing the saxophone, I just couldn't get it. I tried but anything with strings on it, right? I can usually pick it out. Gotcha. I'm not saying I'm a master at it or great, but I usually, like the piano, I never really took a lesson or anything. I just mom played the piano and she always did piano lessons. Right. But I never got a lesson from her. Man, piano is like everything. It's everything. What I understand. It's everything. I have one. Don't know how to play it. Well, I didn't know. My 13-year-old daughter knows how to play it. So really? She's good. Yeah. Well, I didn't know I could play it either. I just sit down and figured it out. It just happened, man. So you can play piano? Oh yeah. Come on. That's my primary instrument. Any other extracurriculars when you were in school? Did you play sports or? I played basketball. I didn't take it really serious. Sure. I just enjoyed playing sports. Okay. I really could have cared less if we won or if we lost. I just enjoyed playing. It's kind of like I'm an 80s video game nerd. Okay? Of course. So my friends would all be, I'm going to beat you. And I was like, I'm just happy to be able to play. What was your game of choice? Do you have a... Oh, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Put him away. It was my absolute favorite. Uppercut. Still is one of my favorites of all time. I think I just got it for the PS4, maybe. Really? I think I have it at home. They're re-releasing all that stuff. But Namco, all that stuff is out there. I've still got the original Nintendo. I've got 300 plus gray cartridge games. All right, I was the Atari 2600 guy. I had 40 of those. I've got a 2600. I still play ET. Even though everybody says it's not. Defender was wasted many Saturdays playing Defender. That's a good one. Then Defender 2 was good too. I didn't play that one. No, my dad was an electronics guy, or my stepdad was an electronics guy, so he was able to copy all the chips. So all I had to do was trade the chips on the Atari, and I had 40 games. So all the kids were at my house playing games. See, we didn't even own I'll put it to you this way, we didn't even own a VHS until 1990. Okay, when did you graduate high school? I dropped out in 1996.
96, you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
There you go. And you got your GED straight away?
Got my GED. I'm not 96, I'm sorry, 94.
94.
94.
Yes.
And then got my GED. Actually, I had my GED before my class graduated.
Excellent news, man.
So, and then went on into auto mechanic school for
Excellent,
a year.
man.
And then dropped out and got married.
But you learned how to fix cars a little bit.
Learned how to fix cars, steering and suspension and all that. And
you make a good husband, man.
Well, that's what I keep telling her.
No, man, that works with his hands.
Yeah.
That can fix stuff. Yeah.
So we, well, I'm better at, to be honest, I'm better at tearing things apart than I am putting them together.
Isn't everyone?
It's like, like when you buy your kids a bicycle or something.
Sure.
And you put the bike together and you're like, oh, look, they sent us these extra parts.
Extra
just
parts.
in case. Then it won't,
yeah.
you can't even pedal it.
That is correct.
Yeah. But no.
I'm with you. I used to tear my toys apart all the time. So, all right. So, 96, you're starting life. Mm-hmm. And you went to auto mechanic school for a little bit. You didn't quite get through that. That's fine. That's fine. Now, you're playing music. Were you in a band at the time?
At the time, I was just writing.
Writing? Okay.
Writing, and
how many songs had you written by this time?
30.
30 songs?
Yeah, good 30 songs.
By 18, 19, 20 years old,
yeah.
You had 30 songs in your pocket.
Yep.
And you're like, what am I going to do with these things?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have access to a recording. It wasn't like today, you can pick your phone up and record your song or something.
Phone? I have this HN Pro you can plug into.
Back then, I did have my old cassette player where you could push record and play at the same time.
Yes.
So that's how I recorded or cataloged those ideas. And I've still, in my studio at home, I've still got a dual cassette player that I can dig those. I've still got a lot of that music on.
Sure enough, yeah.
And some songs have evolved. I mean, this is the fourth studio record for McCuin, and some I'd be lying if I didn't say some of the songs off past records we've done evolved from some of that early stuff.
Of course, it's all you.
Right?
It's all McCuin.
We ended up going that route a few times, but I was just writing and trying to be a good husband and trying to.
Wait, when did you get married then?
That 1996.
You got married in 96, early, young man, getting ready to start your whole life.
And
family,
the wife was in college,
music career, let's go.
And I was
so 96 is a turning point.
That was it. That was a pivotal moment.
Big year for you.
And
all right, so you got 30 songs in your pocket, you're married. When did the kids start?
1999.
99. Okay, so you gave it 3 years to get the music underway.
Right.
Where did you go from there? 96.
96. We were just trying to make it. We're trying to make it work financially. April's trying to get through school and working on her teaching degree, and I go to work at the sheriff's office in Russellville, Arkansas.
You're working at the sheriff's in Russellville.
I worked at the sheriff's. I went
College
to work
town.
At the jail. College town. It was wild. It was the Wild West, brother. It was a good time.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Russellville.
Yeah.
I do a karaoke show every
Russellville
Thursday.
is kind of like home. That's where all my family lives. That's where.
So you went to school in Russellville then? High school?
I was.
Where'd you end up?
In Glenwood is where I ended up in middle school.
Glenwood, Arkansas?
Yeah.
That was middle school?
That was middle school, and then up into, by the time it was in high school right there is when I dropped out, was Glenwood.
Glenwood.
So that's where April was.
Is that small?
Yeah, 2,000 people.
2,000 people.
On a good day.
Okay, so Russellville, that's where you end up in 96.
Russellville's where we end up in 96, and I'm working at the Ford place there. And
at where?
The Ford place.
Ford?
Cogswell's Ford.
Oh, Cogswell Ford, 1900
Yep.
East Main.
Yep.
Ah.
I worked there for a year and then went to work at the jail because I just wasn't making it.
Yeah.
And I was making like $150 a week.
All right,
Yeah.
96, that's not good money.
No, it's terrible money. And but all I was doing was running out like tagging cars as they came in.
Sure.
To get, so it wasn't
What's tagging cars?
Like if they come in for a service.
Oh, I got you.
I just went out and put the tag in the window and wrote down the VIN number and then brought it in for somebody to type it in. Somebody more important to type it in.
So yeah, I guess that's worth $150 a week. Yeah, that's not a big job, sir.
It was beer money, so it worked out. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But
and the wife had to work, I guess, at this point?
No, actually, we were living on her. She had a student teaching or a student job at the college for
Arkansas Tech
Peanuts,
University.
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
for Peanuts. But it was but at the same time, she got such great student loan returns
Sure.
that we lived on student loans.
Oh, okay.
And we didn't have, our rent was maybe $300 a month. Our
Dig it.
our car payment was like $180 something a month. I mean, we were doing okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
now you look back at where you started and how your numbers were, your income compared to what you're like, I wish my house payment was only $300 a month, you know?
Right.
But
And meanwhile, you're working on your music a little bit?
meanwhile, we're working on it and I'm trying to get people.
Is she
put
helping
together.
you?
Mm-mm.
Okay, this is all you.
Just all me.
Greg
I'm
McCuin.
I'm trying to get people put together to get launched.
Okay.
Well, it was a hard sell to sell Greg McCuin at the time because Greg McCuin really hadn't done anything except been in other bands.
Sure.
And I was trying to sell the vision, sell
Right.
the idea. So in the meantime, I'm starting other bands and started a band called Gravity.
Gravity.
And that's when I first met Jeff Allen and Sharp Dunaway and all those
Yeah,
guys.
all the guys from radio.
Started playing and hanging out with, Jeff used to introduce us, bring us on at the old nightlife over by Kmart, and which closed and ended up being moved over to Roosevelt. It was a big deal.
Okay.
And we ended up playing there quite a bit, and then in 2001,
Sure.
me and April packed up, moved to Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville. Yes. That's the place you ought to be.
That's where
you want music.
That's when my life changed, because from 2001, 2002 to about 2004, 2005, we're struggling trying to keep it because the band moved with me.
So had you officially recorded any of those 30 songs in your pocket? Have you added to those 30 songs in your pocket by that time? How many have you got in your pocket maybe by 2001?
We're looking at least double. We're looking at 60 to
60
70
songs
yeah.
in your pocket, and still haven't recorded
Still
one.
haven't recorded any of them except on a cassette.
Come on, Greg McCuin, you got to start your music career.
We figured it out.
Let's do it.
We walked in 2005, walked into the studio, and started laying down that first McCuin record.
2001, Nashville, Tennessee.
And working it out.
You know what studio?
Well, in 2005, when we first
2005. Okay.
it was my brother owned a studio in the United Artists Tower on Music Row.
In Tennessee.
In Tennessee.
Your brother.
My brother.
Your brother's in Tennessee this whole time.
But he's doing Southern gospel.
Yeah.
So
but
I
he's
couldn't
like,
get that door open.
Hey, bro, you're
He had
over
a-
in Tennessee.
Hey, get this.
Where have
He has
you?
a gold record.
Is he telling you to come on out?
Well, he offered to let me do demos and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But he wanted to, and bless his heart, he wanted to.
That's a very southern thing to say. Bless his heart.
He wanted to bring me along, kind of in the direction he was going.
Okay, so he wanted you to do the Lord's work,
More
gospel
of that, yeah.
music.
And the only time it's ever worked for me is when I stepped out where I knew I needed to step out.
Right.
Where I was led myself to step out and go. That's the only times it's ever worked. Every time I've tried to do it somebody else's way or lovingly,
Sure.
a family member or something, it's had some success, but it's been a struggle.
Right.
And we just recently went through this again. I really wanted to get involved with what my brother's doing, and he's on Christian television. He's on the radio. He's very successful ministry there in Cabot.
In Cabot.
Yeah.
So he's back in Arkansas.
He's back in Arkansas.
Okay,
And
so Nashville, Tennessee, 2005. You get to his studio. Did you try to start doing what he was doing?
No.
Say, hey, bro, I love you, man.
I recorded a couple of songs that he was like, and he kind of had his approval and stuff.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, he never belittled me or ran me down or nothing
Sure.
like that. But it's just his direction was not my direction.
Gotcha.
His destiny is not my destiny.
Yeah.
So it ended up.
It's Jerry Lee and was it Jimmy Falwell? No, what was
well, there was Jerry Lee Lewis and Jimmy Swaggart.
Jimmy Swaggart?
Yeah.
That's it. There, I'm seeing that parallel here.
So anyway, it ended up. We released that record in 2005, and the song Once Again. It's called Once Again. That was my first ever radio release.
That's your first
First
song.
ever radio release.
In 2005.
2005.
And you put it out in Nashville.
Put it out, and actually the first station that ever played it was in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
So
How did it get to Birmingham?
Who's
my buddy Joel.
is he out there pushing it out there?
He was pushing it, and he was working at the record label we were getting signed on. We were on Scarred Records at the time.
How many copies of this record went out there?
Maybe 50,000.
50,000 of your first single.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
But still, that sounds like a lot to me.
We were trying to get them moved and trying to get them out there. Distribution back at this time.
Yes.
Distribution was hard to get. If
Right.
you didn't have somebody, the money and pushing, it was hard to get.
And you got this one guy.
I had this one guy helping me.
What's his name?
Joel Ramsey.
Joel Ramsey.
And I've known him for 35 years. I mean, we've been best buds for. I call him little brother. You know?
Dwayne Dykes. Dwayne Dykes. Please meet your party at the first floor Starbucks.
At least
Dwayne Dykes.
At least I didn't.
Please meet your party at the first floor Starbucks.
At least I didn't say Greg McCuin.
All right, Dwayne Sykes. All right, you better get here. We're hanging out here at the Starbucks in Little Rock National Airport. It's the place to be if you're a Greg McCuin fan.
I don't know. Clinton might
You'll
show
find
up
him
in a
here.
minute.
All right, so we're back with Joel putting out your 50,000 pressings of your first album, of your first song. And
Yeah, it ended up being, we didn't start out with that many, but it ended up being trying to get them, we're just trying to press as many as possible.
Sure.
And ended up keep going. We started, I think the first stack we had in hand was maybe a good 15,000, 10 to 15,000. That's all we could afford at the time.
okay.
But you ended up
And you sold all 50,000?
no, we didn't sell them all. We gave some of them away.
Oh,
for
yeah, to the
radio,
radio stations.
But we ended up selling. We ended up selling a good 30. Good 30 to. I mean, it was enough to get somebody's attention.
Yeah, you make a couple bucks on that, and
Yeah, we did pretty good.
Yeah,
And
you
then
did good.
the second one is when I met Posix and them.
Posix,
You know, that played bass for me, Gene Posix.
Gene Posix. Okay,
And met him in when we moved back to Arkansas.
this is 2000.
This would be 2006 maybe.
So you spent just 1 year
2007.
in Nashville.
Actually, we were in Nashville. Well, we went out there about 2001.
2001.
But it was, and it would. I technically, I guess, the very first chord that was ever strummed would have been 2003. But we didn't have anything solid or recorded till about 05. That really
Right, you
started
had that
moving.
first record.
Yeah, because it started. It would be feast and famine. It would start, and then it would stall.
But you're in one of the music capitals of the whole world.
But the thing is, 1 out of every 5 people you meet on the street is a musician.
Of course.
And a good one.
It's the place to be.
And a good one. So it's hard to get noticed.
Okay, so you went to a smaller place to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond.
Pretty
Maybe.
much. And trying to figure out, maybe have a little luck on your side. You know,
Well, you could
the
be a
odds-
playing musician if you're good.
Yeah.
In a smaller town.
And the odds would be a little bit better to make draw. You know, because look, if I come to a place where, say, like you were talking about Rosebud, when you do a party in Rosebud,
Right.
not a whole lot going on in Rosebud.
You got that right.
You had the people that were there.
Everyone.
Were there.
Yes.
So you could look at it that way. But I didn't. We ended up back in Arkansas because that second record we did a song called Broken.
Broken.
Okay.
Broken's your second single.
Broken is the second single off the next record.
And you get to Arkansas.
Get to Arkansas.
Where do you record this at?
We recorded it in Nashville.
Oh, okay. So this is something you brought with you.
Well, no, we had moved back to Arkansas, and then we went back to Nashville to record the record.
6 hours away at least, right?
Oh, easy, yeah, easy. And then just me and Posix and Gary Henderson and the Pat Heaton.
So that's a 4-man band.
That was the lineup, yes. Well, we released this song called Broken.
Broken.
And something in the cosmos lines up, I guess.
All right.
Because we're going to give it away free for 24 hours. Free download for 24 hours.
Yeah.
It moves 83,000 downloads in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that would have picked up the tab for the year.
Yeah.
But we gave them away.
No, but where did you announce this at?
But social media.
MySpace?
Facebook,
I still got 11,000
Facebook.
friends on MySpace. I'm not giving it up.
Oh, we don't ever look at, I know some of our people look at that stuff. I haven't looked at a MySpace. I think the last time I even tried to look at a MySpace, I think it said I had a virus or something.
Yeah, well, that's where Nikki started, you know, Minaj. And
right.
A lot of people started on MySpace.
They did.
And giving it away was the way to do it.
And it got us
you
a lot
got
of
noticed.
exposure.
Exactly.
And then the second song, which Here Comes Statue.
Here Comes
the song
Statue.
And then all of a sudden, people were just, hey, where do I get that? Where do I get that song?
2006.
2007. And then here comes 2008. By 2008, if we didn't play Statue live, I was getting nasty emails.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're playing shows.
We're playing shows.
All through this.
Yeah.
What kind of shows are you doing?
Just rock shows, like out at, we hooked up with Jester at the time, Jester's Entertainment.
Okay.
And Wade Ledbetter.
Right.
Hooked up with, and Blake Woodson was helping us out.
Blake Woodson, yes, my man.
Yeah. And they were helping us out, and we were playing, like, they do stuff like independent shows. They call it Burning Up the Night, and they do it out, put a big stage up with the Edge banner and out there in front of his parking lot, and just have random summer shows. And then they'd book us we were at the Rev Room several times. We played.
That's a good room, man. I've done that.
We played just about everywhere at the time in Arkansas.
Sure.
And then we branched out, and we went out to, we decided to go back to Tennessee again, Nashville, to record the third record, which was a Hollywood record.
Hollywood.
And we called it Hollywood, and guess what?
Yeah.
Like 5 months later, I'm standing in the Whisky A Go Go on the stage,
Go
singing
get 'em.
Hollywood in Hollywood.
Go get them.
And then they invite us to be on Crew Fest, and then we get invited to come to Rocklahoma, and then we get invited to, and that's the third record. And here we are back. Everything's come full circle.
Okay.
Because I took a little bit of a hiatus, trying to, when my dad died, and then Mom died right after, about a year or so. No, it's all right. It wasn't a shock, and it was time.
Sure.
I mean, there's a time for a man and a man for a time, and we all have that time where it's time for us to go, And he didn't want to live like that. Nobody would want him to live like that. Cancer and.
Okay. So he was breaking down.
He was.
Yeah. By the time, if that ever happens to me, I want to get out.
Right. And so the 5 years or so, it was the past 5. It was a struggle, and then all of a sudden I thought, you know what? I'm tired of having this inner battle of trying to please people.
Sure.
With being involved in ministry, I can make a bigger impact in people's lives, being who God intended for me to be to begin with.
Yeah.
So
you're so soft-spoken. I think we're getting a lot of background noise. We can walk and talk.
Okay. So that's kind of where it ended up being who and what.
Sorry.
It's kind of where it ended up being how we got to where we're at, man, is just I finally had to make that decision to go full-fledged back into the game to get this record done.
Yeah.
And we even redid a more upgraded version of We have a brand new version of Statue coming.
Okay.
And it doesn't take away from the old one. It's a.
So you did the original Statue in 2006 or
2007? Actually, I think it was. Yeah. And this one we've put a upgraded. Because as you play a certain song so many times, little things will change in it. Subtle things, not things that the average listener would pick up on, but like I might hit a different type of note here, or a different type of use an augment or a seventh or something on a piano, just little things, and
these are musician things that I have no idea about.
Things that stand out.
But you know how to read music.
No, I can't read music.
You don't?
I cannot read a lick of music.
I've met so many musicians that are exactly the same.
Yeah.
That they learn from tabs. Casey Sparks, I spoke to her on the podcast. She said she learned from YouTube. And she showed me the ultimate guitar learning thing. She taught herself how to play, and she could already sing. So she taught herself how to accompany herself. And I've met so many musicians that do not know how to read music.
I never could, and still to this day, it's Greek to me.
Squiggly lines.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Now tab, I can get a guitar,
Right.
and I can, if I know the song and know where their lyrics are, I can look at the tab, and I can know when to change on what word they're saying. It'll say D or A above that word. I'll know when to change there. But that's just because I've memorized the keys.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I actually was playing drums in a little punk band before I got married to April called Half Irish.
Half Irish. Well, I noticed that one of your tattoos, and you are heavily tattooed, is
I've got
clover there.
I've got duals, and then I've got 36 pieces on me all down my spine. I got a phoenix down the spine and wings, and
wow.
And I got more. I mean, I'm not done.
No.
You know?
And usually, once you do one, you just can't stop.
Yeah, it's a drug. It is a drug. It's absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they may look mixed matched, but they're well centered and they're well done to where it doesn't look like it's a mess. It looks like
right. Thank you. Yeah.
They're shaped. Okay, this is a story.
Yeah.
This is like a comic book.
Right.
This is a panel from this story, and the panel continues.
That's exactly how continuing. That's exactly how it is. And there's my Triforce, Legend of Zelda. I mean, it goes on and on. This one has a deep story behind it.
Give it. You have it's like a long skull.
Yeah, it's a long. It's. When I was a kid, the things that used to aggravate me the most was when people would drag out a joke.
Okay. David Letterman did that all the time.
I mean, drag a joke. Now, there's a way to build it, but drag it. So I always had this vision of this how maybe an individual, when they drug something out, maybe they had a long mouth or a long, So I was sitting one day just kind of sketching around, drawing, and I'm not much of a drawer.
Sure.
But just messing around. I took it to a buddy of mine who does draw, and he's an artist too, tattoos. And this is what he come up with. And so it's kind of like the eyes, but he's just dragging it's just, all this is just drug out. And I can close it and then drag it out.
It's right on the inside of the elbow.
So it reminds me.
That's pretty cool.
It reminds me to not drag out. Don't spend too long on one thing if it's not working.
All right.
And
when I said Letterman, he said the punchline many times.
Yeah.
Until somebody laughed.
Right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, at least a courtesy laugh sometimes.
That's good.
And it's just my kids' birthdays and just stuff, and of course there's McCuin and.
Is that your logo?
That was the old. That's the old
logo. Okay.
And this was even the logo before that.
Just a big old M with the
big
red,
old M with the red,
M.
And this was the one from 2000, the Hollywood record. And just, there's just a little bit of everything.
But they tell a story of Greg McCuin.
Everything has a story. It's my life, and I've got, the first tattoo I ever got. My parents.
Which one was the first one?
It's this one right here. This is Lord of Lords.
And it's a very religious type tattoo. It's got Jesus Christ with a little cross underneath it.
That was my first. That was my first one.
And that stems from your roots of Dad being a minister, and even brother taking into the gospel. He went into Dad's work.
He did.
And so when did you get that tattoo? What year?
That would have been 2000. The year 2000.
2000.
Yeah. I waited a while. I thought, it wasn't like I turned 18 and ran out and started getting ink.
Right.
I waited a while, thought about it.
But even the first ink is in the ministry. It's going. You still got Dad's teaching in your head.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Is I'm what you call a kingdom believer. Okay. There's nowhere in the canonized Bible did God ever call us Christians.
All right.
He called us sons and daughters, citizens and ambassadors for his kingdom. Jesus didn't say when the gospel of salvation is preached for a witness. Then it says when the gospel of the kingdom is preached. And I thought, well, that's interesting. What's the kingdom?
Right.
And the kingdom is the idea that we're sons and daughters, and we're citizens, because sons and daughters look like their father. We're made in his image and in his likeness.
Sure.
Citizens, we're citizens of heaven. We're citizens of, we have, as a citizen of heaven, I have the rights of heaven. I'm so powerful that I can call upon the Lord and an angel will respond. Okay. Just like here, if I'm so powerful as an American citizen, if I have an issue, I can call on the local army. The law enforcement will show up at my door.
Right.
Same thing there. As an ambassador, I don't represent where I live. I represent where I'm from. So if I'm an ambassador for his kingdom, then I represent who created me and where I come. And that carries over not as a denomination, not as a ministry, not as this, but it carries over as just who I am, which carries over in the music, carries over whether you're in church, whether you're standing on stage in front of thousands of people, whether you're sitting in an airport talking to one individual.
Right.
It carries no matter where, because that's who we are. And when I figured out that all God wanted me to do was be who I was, that's when it started working. And I had to go through Mom and Dad's death, and I had to go through realizing that God was not angry with me, that I wasn't letting him down by playing secular music. I wasn't letting him down by using the gift. A man's gifts make a way for him and bring him before great multitudes of people.
Sounds like a good interpretation of biblical terms anyway.
So that's kind of how and we've had, my goodness, I live in a peaceful home.
Yes.
My children laugh and play and they're happy and I mean,
how many babies you got?
I have my son is oldest is fixing to be 20, and Brooklyn's 14, and little Clark Alexander's 8.
Yeah. So, all right.
Me and April, we've been married going on 23 years. And,
all right.
It's just I mean, you can have people are like, well, what's it like, I'm being on tour, or what's it like to do this or do that? It's a big party, a rock star party. I was like, not really. I'd like to be in bed by 10 or 11 at night, bounce back up the next morning and go do it again.
Well, it's a sacrifice being on tour. If you want to be a rock star, you got to give up some things, like sometimes a family life.
That's it. And
but if you have a good significant other at your home that'll support you in all your endeavors, April seems like April's very
great.
Stand up.
She is absolutely fantastic. She doesn't always like it, but she agrees. I'm gonna miss Brooklyn's 15th birthday.
Oh,
but she gets it. She's like, Daddy, I get it.
Yes.
And she has now, with her dance stuff and being able to be out and perform like that, she understands the necessity to express your gifts.
Is she getting the feeling from the crowd?
She gets it. She's got that, they say charisma can't be bought or can't be taught.
Sure.
And she's got it.
Oh,
she's got it.
That's excellent.
And we post her dances online and stuff, and she's just got this confidence and this attitude, and she's been winning these platinum awards and trips, and she's been winning this stuff to New York, and I mean, it's just I'm just proud of her.
I feel it, man.
And my son, he plays guitar.
Come on.
Yeah, he's got a Les Paul that he jams around on, and he come in there. He was 15 or 16 years old.
He's gonna be your Wolfgang.
Yeah, and he come in there and he was jamming on Zeppelin, and I'm like, that's my boy.
Yeah, he is.
That's my kid. I'm proud of him. And little Clark, he told his mama, which would almost bring me to tears, when we played the Blitz Pig. It's all ages.
Right.
So we loaded up the whole family.
Why wouldn't you?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And Clark and Brooklyn had never seen me play live till that night. Clark, we get home, and like 2 days later, April comes in. She said, "You're not going to believe what Clark said today at Show and Tell."
What did he say?
He wants to be a singer like his dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. And all the other drama and all the other issues, all that goes away.
Yeah, that'll make you cry quick,
because
man.
the first impact Daddy always said, Daddy was so wise, and he always said, if every man of the house would do what God instructed him to do first, and lead his family to the Lord and take care of them and show them how to be good people, teach them how to love, we live in a completely different world.
No, you've got your family bubble, and it looks like you're building a castle.
Yeah,
really.
you are, and you're building.
Kids.
You build and you teach them how to accept people, you teach them how to love without having to feel obligated. Love without obligation is what love is. It just because I love my wife, but I'm not obligated to do everything her way just because I love her.
Sure.
And she's the same way, and we have this mutual respect.
Yeah.
Now
you're building something together.
Build it, and we're just we're halfway there almost, I think. But if we live another 20, 30 years, or if the Lord tarries, but it's just that kind of stuff, and that translates in the music and the boys. I mean, my crew and my people and my bandmates they let me be me.
Yeah.
They let me be me. They don't all believe like I believe. They don't all agree how, but that doesn't, they let me be me, and I let them be, and I embrace them, and nothing changes that,
Are you writing all the songs yourself? Or?
No, me, and this project has been such a team effort because me, Chris the Man Moran, and J. Ray White, Dale Slinky Qualls, and Angie Crow on drums. We have all, the five of us, sat down and worked out lyrics and music, and all of us have had input on this record.
That sounds like a band right there.
We have all sat down, and the writing credits on this are 5 and 5.
Excellent.
We all worked on the music, and there's none of this. Well, I wrote that line, so that I own that. We don't deal with. First of all,
split it up 5 ways.
Yeah, I'm not going to do business with people like that,
right?
Because that's going to be a waste of my time. And at this level, you have to be professional, and you have to be straight up with people, and you have to kind of climb over the BS, because everybody thinks they're special and everybody thinks they're called. And you know what? That may be true. But there is a method of operation and certain levels you have to go through. If I run over there to that escalator,
right,
I couldn't just jump to the top of it.
No.
It's impossible.
Taking a ride.
I mean, you got to take a ride. Even if the escalator's doing the work, you still got to start at the bottom.
Right.
So it's an issue of understanding that that everything has a process. And everything, you don't start by opening for, I talk about it all the time. In 2010, we got to be on a ticket with Warrant.
Come on.
And they're in Dardanelle.
What?
Yes, at the Front Street Grill threw a party, and it was Warrant and us and Nigel Dupree, which was Jesse James Dupree from Jackal, his boy.
Excellent.
We got to the very, 2 weeks after that, we got to play in Hot Springs at the
Front Street, Dardanelle, tiny town,
they put up this big, huge stage out back behind their place.
Great venue, right on the water.
Yeah, and we us and my childhood heroes, and that was the week before we played the Whiskey.
And then right the week after, you're off to California.
We're off to Los Angeles and playing the Whiskey.
Right back in this airport, Little Rock National Airport.
Right back here.
And taking off and heading for California.
So, and those are just isolated examples. But every now and then you'll run onto something, you'll play a show. And I'm not saying that other shows are more special or
no.
That's not what I mean. But you'll run into this opportunity of going, you sit back and you go, oh my God, I'm standing, like at the Whiskey, I'm standing on the same stage,
right,
that some of the Hall of Famers have stood. I'm standing where Axl Rose was like, they were like, who is this scrawny kid, kind of thing. And
now, when you're at the Whisky A Go Go, I've never been there. I've been to California, but I never had the chance to go there. Did you? Were there a lot of posters or pictures of all these people?
Not really, but
okay.
Well, the cool thing was you go backstage, in the green room.
Sure.
And we were backstage in the green room.
Did you go to the toilet?
And yes, we went in.
You had to put your butt in the same place.
And well, I didn't actually use it. I just went in there and went into the Rainbow Room afterwards down the street because I had to see that green, the Motley Crue green toilet floor looking at Dr. Feelgood record.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
They have that in there. It looks just like it. But I had to go check that out. But we went. You go up into the green room backstage, and you can see where like Slash and all those guys have wrote on the walls.
Yes.
And they're like,
did you write on the walls?
We did.
You better believe it.
We did. We got a Sharpie out and
put little McCuin on there.
Put we was here, da 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 kind of stuff. Just being funny.
All 5 of your names up there.
It was. Well, they were at one time. I don't know if they painted over them. Maybe.
No.
But,
you got to believe that they're still there.
I'm
and
hoping
and the next artist is going, wow, who's this Greg McCuin?
Yeah.
This is great.
They're probably going, oh, I know that guy. Where's the whiteout?
Oh, stop.
No,
but you're on stage at the Whisky A Go Go, and you're thinking, my whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life leading up to this particular point.
And here we are. And that's those moments where you're like, wow. And it passes by so fast, you actually have to go back and watch the video to prove to yourself you were actually there.
Right. It's like a dream.
It is. It's
a dream come true.
And it is. And you're kind of in awe and but who knows? Who knows what's next? I know this record is going to be, Waiting Till Dawn that's the new single.
Waiting Till Dawn.
Waiting Till Dawn, and we've got to get it sent over to you.
Okay,
today.
No problem. Yeah, 2019.
And we've got
and
to
here
get
we
it
are
sent
in
over
May
to
of
you.
2019, and Waiting Till Dawn is coming out.
It's here, and then the video came out this last week.
Okay.
And
I can play that at shows.
As a matter of fact, it's only been out maybe 3 days
on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check that out for sure.
It's I was so happy. In about the first 24 hours, people were paying attention. With the first 24 hours, that we had about 1,100 hits on it. And it was
That's
great.
Amazing.
It was great, yeah, and mostly just local because we didn't advertise it really anywhere else.
Sure.
So that got our attention.
I believe it.
So I can't wait to see what happens when this. And we're just, I'm so proud of this project.
Yeah.
And not just because it's in this project. McCuin has never done a project that is this intense. Like it's more edge. It's got more punch. But we still maintain the solid vocals.
Yeah.
So I'm not much of a screamo kind of guy. I don't have the ability to do the scream type. I only got one voice. That's the only way I know how to use it is sing.
Right, and don't overdo it because once again, Axl Rose, he kind of blew it out a little bit.
Did some damage, and a lot of those guys did quite a bit. I'm sure the crack and the and the heroin and the rest of it had a lot to do with it too. But
thankfully, it seems like you stayed away from most of that.
We have we're drug free band
completely.
Yeah, we like to enjoy a beer or something,
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy sitting at my table playing a poker game.
Sure.
Maybe having a shot or something, with my family. But,
why not?
But that's nobody's business,
Right.
But we don't drink before we get on stage, and if we even have anything afterwards, it's very little.
Okay.
Because you got to bounce back. You got to be on your game.
You're a sensible family man.
Yeah, you got to be being a band, it's a business.
Yes.
And when one of us does mess up, which is usually me,
okay,
I'm usually the source of all the meetings that get called.
You're the front man.
Yeah, and I'm usually the thumb on the hand.
You're the one's going to get caught first anyway, because you're the front man and you're the one that's putting it out there.
But do
you have a manager?
Yes, we had Ed Lacera is our manager.
Okay, so you have somebody
a manager
helping you put it out there.
Oh yeah, and and then Herschel Pittman, he works with Ed, and now like Stephanie and Christy and them, they work specifically for me. They're not affiliated with McCuin Band. They're just affiliated with me.
What does Stephanie do for you?
They help me manage my schedule. They help me. They make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be. They'll call me.
So it's getting overwhelming at this point.
It is, and part of it has also been, since I had that stroke
Sure.
a few years ago,
Right.
I have struggled.
You had a stroke.
Yeah,
I didn't even know about this.
It was right after Dad died, and it was actually a TI, like a mini stroke, but
Right.
it really affected my short-term memory some.
Oh, okay.
But I've gotten through it, and we're moving forward, and we're doing okay. It's just that I don't want to, like this morning, Steph calls me. She sends me a message at like 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6, somewhere in there, and says, and it puts on there, says, "You've got an interview with Keys today."
Okay.
I'm like, okay, and I remembered,
I appreciate that.
but I might not have.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have had a bad dream and woke up and forgot. Who knows?
Right.
But and then or Christy will shoot me a message that says, you've got to be. Here's your weekend. You've got to be playing here and playing there, and you've got to be at this venue, because I also play piano I get to set in with a band called White Crow.
White Crow, and that's a local band in Arkansas?
That's a local band. They do kind of like some country southern rock stuff, and I get to play like Jerry Lee Lewis style piano.
You get to feel your other, a little different.
It really does
genre.
come out from that southern gospel roots a little bit, piano, and I enjoy it.
I believe it.
Yeah, and it's
It's nice to branch out.
Yeah, it's fun, and we're playing at the Whiskey Ridge show that's happening this weekend.
Whiskey Ridge is where?
It's I think it's the Malvern. I want to say it's Malvern, but see, that's part of what they do.
I'm in Mountain Home Saturday.
They tell me we're playing Friday and Saturday night, and part of what they like Christy and Steph and them do, they're like, well, you have to be. This is where you have to be, because I might. Man, if I was left to my own devices,
sure,
I might be in Hot Springs waiting on you to show up at the Hot Springs airport.
You got that
I'm just
right.
saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's me trying to handle my business and be responsible.
And now it seems like you're doing well.
I'm not trying to be some kind of big time or big, assistance. Doesn't have anything to do with success.
No.
It has everything to do with making sure that I don't drop the ball or let somebody down.
No, you're being a smart businessman.
Trying to get it to, trying to.
If you know you need help, you're getting the help.
And that's really what it is. And that's what it boils down to. And my wife, April likes it. She don't like me being alone. Especially after that stroke thing. She worries about me. Of course, she should. I mean,
You're married.
Right.
Yeah.
And she worries.
Partners.
So her and Steph and her and Christy, they're all best friends, and she trusts them. And I think sometimes she hired them instead of me.
Okay.
And we have great working relationships, and we've, Steph's been with me for a decade.
Yeah.
So it's not like.
Yeah, so you're developing a friendship type.
Big sister,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. We just try to keep our lives in order, and
that sounds very biblical too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, accountability. But I'm not perfect, man. I'm the furthest one from. I'm the chief of sinners, brother.
Aren't we all?
But I'm not. But at least try to be straightforward.
Yeah.
At least try to be. I'm not necessarily going to share all my private business with the whole world, but I will be straight with people,
Sure.
about what's going on. People ask me all the time, don't you, what's the goal? Don't you want to be some big, huge, famous rock star? I'm like, not really, because I still want to be able to go to Walmart.
Right.
I want to be able to go spend all that money I make.
You want to be anonymous,
right?
Still, to where you can walk around.
I don't mind a lot of people knowing, and I can go quite a few places, and people know who I am or whatever. I just stay humble about it, and
I'm sure you get a Greg McCuin here and there. I get Keys Dan. Hey, Keys Dan.
Right. And you just take time to stop and say hello to those people, and listen to their problems if you got time, or say hello or whatever. And because when you make an impact in somebody's life to where they remember you,
sure,
it means something.
Sure, and that's what an entertainer can do. That's the power of you being on stage behind that microphone.
They want to come to that show, and they want to forget about life for a little while, and they want to enjoy, and they picked you.
Yeah, and then when they want to know you, they want a piece of that power. They want some of that feeling that you've had.
That's the thing about, like, at our merch table.
Sure.
I go to our merch table. After the show, I go because I want to meet you. I want to talk to you. I want to shake hands with you. I want to. If you come to the,
you're showing appreciation,
right? If you come to the merch table, you're after the show, you're more than likely gonna buy that merchandise from either a McCuin member or one of us is gonna be standing right there,
right?
You know, and pictures and hang out, just whatever, because that's what we're supposed to do. You know, we're supposed to appreciate the people that appreciate us.
Correct.
And because we're not better than anybody, we're just we all bleed red, man.
That's correct.
We all bleed red.
Man, Greg McCuin, we're still hanging out in the Little Rock Airport. There's been quite a bit of background noise. I'm pretty sure that the recording went well. We got the lavalier mics pretty close to our talking holes.
Right on.
So yeah, I've had a good time so far.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, now you say you have some shows coming up. I always like to start, where you're from, where you are, and where you're heading. You have some shows coming up this weekend. Let's start with those and work your way out.
Well, we're playing
I'll put this up tonight.
Yeah, we're playing at that Whiskey Ridge thing. It's been on Channel 4 advertising, and it is for White Crow. That's not a McCuin show. The next McCuin show, we're going to be at Rocklahoma. At I think we play at like 3:30 at the opening of the week. The campgrounds there, the proving ground stage is what it is.
Right.
And then from there, I think we go to. I've got it screenshotted on my phone.
Sure, you do. So you're a smart guy. You're very organized, and you've got a good assistant that's organizing you.
She's probably the one that screenshotted it. But it says that we're going. I know we're headed to Texas and headed to Oklahoma back again, but we are headed to Rocklahoma's next, and in July we're going to Enid, Oklahoma.
Enid.
With a band called Solidify. And we're in Dallas after that, July 26th, at the Ridgely Room, I want to say, with Red Line Drive.
Sure.
Burleson, Texas after that at Oscars. San Angelo, Texas at the Dead Horse. Richard Hills, Texas. These are just July, August 2nd, August 3rd, one right after another.
Taking a lot of planes? Are you driving?
I think we're probably going to drive. The ones that are close here, we're just going to hit them 2 or 3 days in a row and drive.
What's the driving situation? You got a van or you got a big bus?
A lot of times we just
take your own car.
Everybody just kind of hops in and goes on their own. Goes on their own ride.
Gotcha.
We're going to Tulsa and then Hot Springs at the Blitz Pig that's the outdoor one, with Red Line Drive, and
that's cool. You can bring the kids on that one.
Absolutely,
family time.
Hot Springs at October 26th. That Spa City Rocktoberfest.
Yes,
we're playing that one. So that's about the next 10 that I know of.
So you're moving, Greg McCuin. You keep moving.
I know there's more popping up.
Getting your music out there.
We're just and you got it. That's the main thing. You got to stay busy.
Yeah.
Just got to stay busy.
How many songs you got in your pocket now?
I have no idea. I can't even count them.
How many been laid down?
For this record, or are you talking about completely?
Yeah, completely. How many songs in the Greg McCuin
in the
library?
You're looking at probably 40 that's actually been recorded and cut.
40 produced songs.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot of songs.
That's a lot of songs.
That's man. So, have the records been getting progressively better? I'm guessing.
Oh yeah.
In sales and.
Of course, the response is always good, and then as the years go on, it tapers off when you release new stuff, and people want to. And then there's certain songs like Broken and Statue and Once Again and Hollywood and certain songs like that people just say we got to have it no matter what.
Those are the ones that have to be on the set list when you're playing live.
They have to be in the set list, like Forgetting.
Play the hits.
Right. I mean, play the ones that they've been listening to, but the industry's so different now than it was when I started. It's a completely different industry.
Back in my day,
I guess. Absolutely.
How so?
Well, back then, when you had your when your MySpace was really getting a roll.
Right.
you're like, wow, look at all this free exposure we're getting, and 1,000 people. If you got 1,000 plays in a month, you were like, oh my gosh, we just got 1,000 free distribution, you know. And now, if you release a song and you get 1,000 total on all your, because it's saturated.
Now your YouTube or SoundCloud,
everything, Spotify, iTunes,
sure,
Amazon. I mean, it's just the market is so saturated. You don't even, half the time, I don't even know where the numbers are coming from.
Right.
But management does. I mean, they
compile it.
They
from
figure it out, and they track
places.
it, and they are. And I mean, I got to give a shout out to Ed Lacera. I mean, I got to give a shout out to him and Herschel. I mean, they pay attention. They're on top of their game.
Sure.
And I mean, if it wasn't for them, I probably would have nosedived this thing already, you know, because I can't keep up. There's so much going on, and it's a good thing to be that busy,
right?
But it can be bad if we're not. You know, it's good to admit that you need help.
Yeah, at this level, you can't do it all.
You can't.
You know, I try to do it all, but thankfully I have a few people that help me out as well.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, there's no way I could go into a venue and set up our merch table, and set up the back line, and set up and do mic check and get the pianos. There's no.
So do you have roadies at this point?
No, we carry our own stuff.
You set your own stuff up, okay?
Mainly, it's not that. Well, we have people that help us load in and out.
I've been looking for a roadie since '86. It has happened.
We have people that will help us load in and out, but. You like Chris and Slinky, my guitar players. they are so particular.
Right.
They don't want people messing with their.
People often ask me, "Hey, you want me to help you take your stuff back out?"
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Right, and of course they got flat cases, you know, where you just roll them up, and pop the stuff out, they take care. But it's not. We don't have guitar techs. We don't have. I mean, the guys like to tune their own stuff. They want to make sure it's where it's, you know. But we stagger our set list to where they just switch guitars, and they've already got their guitars tuned. They've already got.
Gotcha.
We just try. There's little things you can do because.
You mean like professional bands?
Yeah, I mean, little things because you want to cut down on cost. You know?
Yeah.
I mean. And I really don't. I don't need security. I mean, I have a Chris Moran. You know, dude's huge.
Big dude.
He would just rip somebody's head off. They got too close to
like
him,
a Wookiee.
You know, pretty much.
Oh man! Didn't we have a Peter Mayhew who just died?
Oh yeah.
Wookiee.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a ouch. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have I don't need a.
You got your own Wookiee.
Yeah. And Chris, he's one of the guys that's the hardest on me, but we've been together a decade playing music and actually over more than a decade about it, I think, and writing songs and working stuff out together, and he expects a lot of me, and I expect a lot from him. Yeah. But at the same time, he's like the first one, if somebody looked at me the wrong, heaven helped him, you know, because he's always had my back, and so we don't, you don't need. But mainly when you're going to play a venue or something, if the venue has their stuff together,
sure,
they ought to be providing. They ought to have somebody at the door to make sure some psycho don't get in or something. You know, they ought to have something like. We have a rider. We have a contract rider that says we have minimum requirements. It's not something.
What's the crazy thing on your rider to make sure that they've read it?
The craziest thing on our rider?
Yeah.
The one piece of fruit per band member.
You got that right, man. This is to make sure that they read that thing.
Make sure you read it.
Hey, brown M&Ms only. Yeah. Okay. Make sure that you read that rider.
There's nothing crazy on there. You know,
no, but you want to make sure that they've read that thing.
That they, and a case of water. You want a case of water.
Of course, man. It's nice.
It's not that difficult, but you do end up. Sometimes you do end up. They'll miss something, and you can be two types of people. You can throw a fit,
right,
and be a diva rock star. They always give me a hard time because my clothes and my, they.
Now, do you take your assistant on the road?
Sometimes they'll go with me.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they can take care of those
depends
little
on what
things.
They got, what they got going on.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice to have a runner or somebody that can say, hey, we need batteries or we need.
That is correct.
Yeah.
How important batteries are.
I mean,
yes.
we all run. The boys run wireless systems, and we all run inner ear monitors.
Yeah, I'm on this battery system,
and so we all have to. And you get up there, and it's 30 minutes before, and you only got 30 minutes sound check.
Oh, yeah.
30 minutes, and you realize, it doesn't. It's nice to be able to, hey, somebody run across the street and.
Yeah. Or go in my bag and get some batteries.
Right.
Yeah.
Or,
hopefully you got an extra.
Or bring me a bottle of water.
Please.
Something.
Please. Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to have people that. But you don't want. You got to be careful because you don't want people that are looking to take.
Right, you don't want to have to rely on them 100%.
Right, I mean,
you could do the job yourself,
sure.
but it's nice to have them as a backup.
I mean, I had a manager one time that stole, by the time we figured it out, stole right at $10,000 from me in April.
Come on, people.
And
this is your bread and butter.
We trusted.
Why are you stealing from them?
Right, we trusted this individual, with the business side of things.
Yeah.
And they stole from us. So you have to, even if, and me and Steph don't always get along. Me and Christy don't always get along. But,
sure.
But April trusts them.
Yeah.
Which is really the most important thing.
Yeah.
My kids love and trust them, which tells me something about their character.
Yeah.
And I tolerate them.
Okay.
Because we don't always get along.
No.
And we shouldn't. I mean, something would be right. Something would not be right if we always got along.
No, especially if they're telling you what to do.
Sure,
and
it's business,
trying to keep you in line, and I really don't want to do that, but you have to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just. What's the old saying? Suck it up, Buttercup.
There you go.
I mean, if one of them comes in and they're like, "Hey, you got to get up. It's 5 a.m." Who wants to hear that?
You got that.
But it's somebody's responsibility. And April, I'm not much of a morning person.
Sure.
But I feel better about myself when I get on up and get going.
Yeah, you get up,
get
stretch,
the coffee going, get moving.
Maybe lift a couple weights,
Yeah. I have noticed I got the little lightweight dumbbells just to
get some good arms, man. I'm seeing some bicep there. Yeah.
But it's the biggest thing is I'll notice if I get on the elliptical in the morning for about 10 minutes.
Yes.
That at night I sing much better. I have more air.
Yes. That's smart.
It's just, of course, my knees are in not good shape. I've had a bunch of knee surgeries and stuff, so I can't really run a lot.
Sure.
It really.
So you're not going all over the stage like Mick Jagger. Still.
No. I do my share of entertaining and bouncing around and all that. But as far as like getting out and doing a morning run or something,
right?
No. But getting on an elliptical or something like that.
Yeah, that's good for your knee.
And then I go get something high in fiber or protein to eat, and then get the day going.
Yeah.
And it just consistency, man. You can change your life in 6 weeks. You can change your whole world in 6 weeks, man.
You can.
I mean, health-wise.
Yeah.
I went vegan for 6 months.
I went vegan for 6 years.
I did.
And then I ate a hamburger. It sat in my stomach for two or 3 days.
And everybody's like, "Why'd you do it?" I said, "For health reasons."
Right.
I did it for health reasons, not because I was going to pick it.
Right.
And I felt so much better. I really felt so much better. And then April, I come in one night, and her and Christy, they're cooking barbecue bacon cheeseburgers, and I was like,
yeah, let me get one of those.
My mouth was watering,
Yeah.
And I ate that. I couldn't even get half of it down,
Right.
And it was like, I'm never not eating this again.
Yeah.
From now on, but I try to eat healthy, But
sure.
But sometimes when you're on the road, you either don't have the extra money to eat, or you don't have the time.
Correct.
And Chris and them, and Christy and Steph, and they'll be like, "Have you eaten?"
Right.
April, I'll be away from home, and she won't send me a "Hey, I miss you" or "I love you." She'll send me a "Have you eaten today?"
You got that
or
right.
If I don't answer, she's texting somebody around me. Greggy, is he doing what he's supposed to be doing? You know.
Yeah, you need that fuel. You need that fuel for the energy, man.
It's not that that I'm irresponsible or but you can get so busy, man, that you just.
Yes, you get caught up in what you're doing.
And we drink these stupid monster drinks, these energy drinks, and they kill my hunger.
Yeah.
They absolutely kill my hunger.
Double shots have been my thing.
I mean, So I'm not even hungry, you know, and until I drive by Hooters. If I drive by Hooters, I'm instantly hungry.
Hey, nobody goes to Hooters for chicken wings.
No, I don't.
Sorry, April.
No, she don't care. She likes Hooters too, you know. I mean,
yeah.
But
they got a fun little niche.
Oh, you know, it's fun. Like I take my kids, we go, and it's just. I mean, people are too uptight about stuff, bro.
Right.
They really are. And, it's just one of those things. It's a funny thing. My brother, he pastors a church. He goes to Hooters. You know, so what?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Sins of the flesh.
Right.
We love them.
I mean, good Lord. Good Lord.
Well.
Good times.
Oh, man.
Good times.
Greg McCuin, we've talked about a lot of things, man.
We have, brother.
Well, we've got a little piece of your life and where you're going. Ooh. Now, how do the people find out about you and your shows coming up?
Just go to, it's really simple, just McCuin.net.
McCuin.net. McCuin, common spelling.
Yeah, without the Q.
MCCUIN.
MCCUIN.
See, I almost spelled it incorrectly.
Well, it'll even if you MCUIN, it ought to pull up, you know, the right. But
did you mean McCuin?
Yeah, did you mean McCuin? I get McCain a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
But, MCCUIN.net. And,
.net. Now, how come you didn't get the .com?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder if that was already taken.
Well, it may be. We're a brand. We're a LLC. We're a company, a legit company, and I don't. Maybe I should have checked to see if there was another McCuin band or something else. No, there's not. But I don't know why we got .net. It might have been cheaper.
Okay. And is all your social media put on there as well?
There should be links on there and access to where to go, and it's got our bios and all that stuff on there. So.
Listeners, he's a good follow, man. Just a lot of cool pictures. You see what he's up to, his band, McCuin Band.
Yeah, that's us.
Excellent, man.
That's us, man.
So good talking to you.
You too,
Thanks
brother.
for bringing me out to the Little Rock National Airport. We've got a lot of background noise. I think it'll come out just fine, though. I'll definitely put it in edits.
After we started the interview, the background noise got more. People started gathering around. And
well, yeah, because we started at 10 in the morning, and then
audience.
People started roaming into the airport because life happens.
Yeah, what were the cops doing here? That was weird.
I heard some alarms. Yeah. I think that was just the carousel, people picking up their bags. Oh, man. Greg McCuin, I've never met you before. I've always followed you online, played your music on RadioWhat.com. So good talking to you, man.
You too,
and what was the line you said on the answer machine when you called me? I've never met you, but I want to be around you, or something like that. It was like now.
There's no telling, man. I've slept since then.
Oh my goodness! It's like now. Ever since I've heard about you, all I want to do is be around you. Sounded like a song.
Was
man.
it?
So good, so good.
Well, man, I have, and I mean, a lot of people speak very highly of you. I did my homework,
that.
and
appreciate that.
It's a lot of people. They speak very highly of you.
Well,
as a matter of fact, I hadn't heard one bad thing.
Hooray!
Yeah.
So. I can keep doing what I'm doing. No real job for me.
Yeah. No, it's all good, man.
No, I started this podcast to build people up, man, to make sure that people got the word about other people. And if you help other people, hey, you're helping yourself too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If, we can all get along.
Absolutely.
Greg McCuin, any last words for the people?
Oh, we'll see you out there. And if you see us, come running and say hello. Come right up to us. Just come say hello.
Go see Greg McCuin at a show, and then catch him at the merch table.
That's right. I'll be there. I will be there.
Thank you, Greg McCuin.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Well, party people, There you have it. Greg McCuin of the McCuin Band. Local and not so local. The man's a touring musician. Him and his band of merry peoples going out there and rocking faces off all over the country. It was, everyone has a story, and this man had a story from a great beginning in Searcy, Arkansas, and just moving all over with Dad's Ministries. That's pretty cool. It seems like he's had some kind of a childhood, and I'm sure that inspired a lot of his songwriting. He's got 40 songs, he said, that were compiled, produced in the McCuin arsenal. Yeah, look it up, McCuin.net, and find him on social media. He's a good follow. Check him out on the Facebook and Instagram and any place else you have your social medias. You'll probably find a little McCuin all over it. Thank you so much, Greg McCuin, for talking to me at the Little Rock National Airport. There was quite a bit of background noise, but I think it came out okay. I zoomed it up in my little Adobe Audition and got it sounding pretty good. All right, party people. Thank you, Greg McCuin, once again. And if you'd like to tell your story on the What Makes You Famous podcast, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386. Or you can send me a little email, info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What, the music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. Jack Mercer was the voice of Popeye the Sailor for 45 years. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
Tweet, yo. Follow Radio What on Twitter at Radio What Twit. Tweet, yo.